All right, guys, so hopefully you have already finished your entire study guide. If you haven't done it on your own, I want you to not watch this video until you've done it on your own. And we're only, right now, all you're doing is checking your answers against mine, okay? All right, so on number 5, how many more pounds does Al's fish need to weigh to reach 5 pounds? So right now his fish is 3.85. He wanted to catch a 5-pound fish. So that means we're going to take 5 and from it, we're going to subtract 3.85. Since we had to line up those decimals, I had to add a couple more zeros. So now we're going to borrow. So we can't take 5 from 0. So we're going to turn it to a 10. We can't take, or since we borrowed, we have to turn this into a 9. So 10 minus 5 is 5. 9 minus 8 is 1. And then since we turned that 0 to a 9, we had to borrow from the 5 and make it a 4. 4 minus 3 is 1. We got to bring that decimal straight down. So the answer is 1 1/1500 pounds. And that's what Luke told us in our little class today. Good job, good job, good job. So Marcus has a stamp collection of 425 stamps. He wants to put the stamps into an album. 17 stamps fit on one page. How many pages must his album have? His album have. So what are we doing with all of those stamps? We're dividing them into groups of 17, right? We're dividing them into groups of 17. So I'm going to divide the big number, 425 stamps, by groups of 17. Well, 17 won't go into 4, but it will go into 42. 3 is going to be too much, 3. So I'm going to put 2 here. So 2 times 7 is 14. Carry the 1. 2 times 1 is 2 plus 1 is 3. And then we're going to subtract. 12 minus 4 is 8. And then we borrowed, made that a 3. So that's a 0. So now I'm going to bring down my 5. So how many times will 17 go into 85? I think the answer is about 5. So 5 times 7 is 35. Carry the 3. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 3 is 8. So it went evenly. I don't have a remainder. So I need 25 pages to put my 17 stamps on each page, which makes my 425 stamps. All right, number 13, Jerry has 9 pounds of cement. It takes 3/5 of a pound to make 1 cement block. How many blocks can he make? So what are we doing with all the cement? We're dividing it into these different sections, or 3/5 of a pound. So we're going to divide 9 divided by 3/5. So I wrote it like that because 3/5 is a fraction. So now if we're going to make that 9 an improper fraction, we just put it over 1, right? So now we're going to Kentucky Chicken Fry it, right? We're going to keep it, change it, flip it. All right, I can simplify 3 and 9. I can divide 3 by 3 and 9 by 3. So 5 times 3 is 15. 1 times 1 is 1. 15 over 1 is just 15. He can make 15 blocks with all that cement. Jared has downloaded 1,204 songs on his iPhone. He wants to organize the songs into 14 equal folders. So what are we doing with all these songs? We're dividing them into these different folders. How many songs will Jared have in each folder? So we're going to take those 1,204 songs, divide them by 14 groups. 14 won't go into 1, 14 won't go into 12, but 14 will go into 120 about, how's it, 8, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think 8's going to do it. 8 times 4 is 32. Carry the 3. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 3 is 11. So I'm going to make that 0 a 10, borrow. 10 minus 2 is 8. 1 minus 1 is 0. 1 minus 1 is 0. So now we bring down that 4. And then how many times will 14 go into 84? How about, let's try 6. 6 times 4 is 24, carry the 2. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 2 is 8, and we have no remainder. So he will have 86 songs in each of the 14 folders. All righty. Number 15, Mrs. Tate asked students to find the least common multiple. Remember, multiples are big numbers of 12 and 18. Jack said the least common multiple is 6, and Logan said the least common multiple is 36. So multiples are big numbers, factors are small numbers, okay? So when you list the multiples of 12 and 18, let's start with 12. So 12 times 1 is 12, 12 times 2 is 24, 12 times 3 is 36, 12 times 4 is 48, 12 times 5 is 60, and I can go on and on and on and on all day, couldn't I? All right, what about 18? 18 times 1 is 18, 18 times 2 is 36. Oh, and I can stop right there, can't I? Because the smallest number, the least common, that means the smallest number they both have in common is 36. So the question is who is correct? So I'm going to write that Logan is correct. And then it says to show your work or model, and look, that's exactly what I did. This is my work right here. Be sure to include the name of the student that's correct. So I put Logan is correct. I'm going to say see work above. And then I'm going to say why Jack is wrong. Jack used the greatest common factor instead of least common multiple. Okay, so on my test, that's the question that's my question and that's my answer. I'm gonna get full credit because I showed my work. I said who was right, and I even went a step above and said that why Jack was wrong. Okay, so it's better to have more information than I need than not enough. All right, let's look at this page. A little hard to see, but basically it says the total weight of a Target basket is 5.15 pounds. The weights of the items are listed above. What did I just say? Below. So we're buying, it looks like we're buying things for Halloween or fall. We're buying 4 pumpkins that weigh 8.8 pounds each, 5 candles that weigh 0.13 pounds each, 1 basket that weighs half a pound, and a bag of candy corn that equals C. Basically, that means we don't really know at this point how much the corn weighs. So let's see. Step 1, there are 4 baskets. There are 4 pumpkins in the basket. 1 pumpkin weighs 8 pounds, so I multiplied 0.8 by 4. And I got 3.2, okay? There are 5 candles in the basket. 1 candle weighs 0.13 pounds, so I multiplied it by 5, so 0.13 times 5, so on and so forth. Then we have step 3 and step 4. Number 16 says, which step contains an error in the work? Well, when I check this work, I have 0.8 times 4. Well, there's 1 number behind the decimal in my problem, which means I need 1 number behind the decimal in my answer. So it looks like number 1 is correct. Number 2, when I multiplied 0.13 by 5, I see there's 2 numbers behind the decimal. So let me do this problem on my own. So 5 times 3 is 15, carry the 1. 5 times 1 is 5 plus 1 is 6. There should be 2 numbers behind the decimal. Uh-oh, look at this. They put only 1 number behind the decimal. So step 2, they should have got 0.65. So step 2 is incorrect because the student did not set up the problem correctly. Well, they did set up the problem correctly. They just don't have the right answer. Step 2 is incorrect because they put the decimal in the wrong place. That's true. Step 2 is incorrect because they should have multiplied by 5. Well, they did multiply by 5. Oh, they should not have multiplied by 5. So that's not true. So B is the best answer. And then number 17, which explanation needs to go with step 3 in the table? All right, so let's see what they've done. They've added the weight of the pumpkins, and then that's the correct weight of the candles. And then what did they do for, where did they get 50 cents? Well, they added the weight of the basket, and this is the total pounds of everything that's in the basket right now without the candy corn. We don't know how much the candy corn costs, right? All right, so let's see which one makes sense. I added the weight of 1 pumpkin. Is this 1 pumpkin? No, this is 4 pumpkins. Nope. I added the weight of all the pumpkins. So there was 4, and that's what this means. So I added the weight of all the pumpkin candles and the basket. Well, the basket is that 50.5 pounds. So that's the right answer. Let's check the other ones. I added the weight of 3 pumpkins. Nope, it's 4 pumpkins. I added the weights of all the pumpkins and candles, but letter D doesn't include the basket. So B is the best answer again. All right, guys, how'd you do? I hope you did well. So this is your work for Wednesday to check your answers. And then Thursday, I'm going to make our meeting optional. If you have questions on the study guide, then join me at 8:15. If not, your test will be ready to go. I'm going to publish it Thursday morning. Take it Thursday, or if you want to, you can wait till Friday. I just want everyone to be done with your test by 4 o'clock Friday at the very latest. All right, guys. Well, you guys have a great rest of the week if I don't talk to you again, and I hope you have a great weekend.